Well, thank you so much, everybody who's joined us from all over South Africa. I'm not sure if there's anyone from further, but we, Chrissie and I, consider it a real privilege to be able to engage with and interact with the people who work with our books, teachers, parents, and now you, who are going to actually be marketing the books for us. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here, for taking the time. We really appreciate you. And we want to say thank you very much to Richard and Nicolette, and also to Lindiwe, and the others behind the scenes that we don't know about, but we want to say a big thank you to them for setting this up and for the opportunity to speak to you. So we're going to start by introducing ourselves to give you a little bit of a background. So I'm going to hand over to Chrissie.
Hello, everybody, and it's lovely to be with you all. I'm just going to give you a brief outline of who I am so you get a snapshot. I was born and brought up in Zimbabwe and did all my education there, got my certificate in teaching, and then also did a Bachelor of Education degree. In subsequent years, I've trained as a counsellor, working with families and individuals, and also as an adult education trainer. So across the years, I have taught all the way from 5 and 6 year olds right through to adults. I think my eldest gentleman was 72 who participated in the course with me. So yeah, across the ages, taught all sorts of things. I must say though, probably my favorite age group to teach are the year 1 or the first year in school. They're just like sponges. The children learn so much and are just so engaging in those early years. So although I'm not currently in the primary school classroom anymore, they're still my favorites, and I've always enjoyed that age group. So I'm going to pat the ball back to Viv.
Thanks, Chrissie. So as you are seeing, we are educators and authors and parents. And so as far as education is concerned, I also was born and grew up in Zimbabwe and trained at the Bulawayo Teachers College as a primary school teacher. And then over the last, 35 years or so in education, I have taught a tiny bit in grade 1, mostly from grades 3 to 7, and then English at the high school level. Along the way, I accumulated a UNISA degree in education and some diplomas in counselling and ministry to children. And then with the University of Cambridge, I did teaching English to foreign language learners certificate as well. Ended my teaching career in teacher education. Chrissie was part of the setting up of a private school in Zimbabwe with us, Midlands Christian School. My husband and I joined others and started this private school. It's now grown to nearly 1,000 learners on campus. It's been a wonderful, fulfilling thing to work with inspired and inspiring people over the years. And we started a teacher training section to that, a UNISA. We were registered as a UNISA distance learning center, registered UNISA students in our province, and did teacher training there as well. So about 14 or 15 years of that. Loved that. Yeah, I've taught in Zimbabwe and Zambia, South Africa, London, worked with some teachers in Mozambique, and also lived in Zambia, lived in Zimbabwe, lived for 4 years in London, a couple of years in the States. But my heart is in Africa, and we just love this continent and its people. So as an author, Chrissie and I wrote the first 20 of the Sunrise Readers, which we are going to be talking about to you today. We wrote them together, then I continued with a further 6 so that they would stretch from pre-reading, going from grade 1 to 7 really. And then I've written a children's novel and 2 published books for adults, and grade 7 RE textbook. Most of those books were published first by Longman Zimbabwe, and then recently Pearson Africa took over, and we have revised the first 10 Sunrise Readers for them. So that is an overview. And now I'd like to hand back to Chrissie to just tell us what we hope to cover today. And I'm going to share the screen. Yeah.
I think it's always good to know where you're going. So just as an overview, we'd really like to introduce you to the product that you're going to be dealing with and to equip you to become thoroughly familiar with it. Going to give you a short history of how the Sunrise Readers got started. So looking back a little bit, looking forward, and just saying, you know, our dreams for the future, perhaps. And also to, we're going to highlight the scheme's unique and distinguishing features. So Viv is going to tackle that part first. She's going to outline the distinctive features of the reading scheme that is Sunrise Readers.
Okay, thanks, Chrissie. So we're starting off with what are the Sunrise Readers, and the Sunrise Readers are a reading scheme. They actually have been the core reading scheme for learners in all schools in Zimbabwe, government and private, for the past 30-something years. So they are 26 books, as you can see on the screen, in the Sunrise Reading Scheme. Taking from book 1, we'll start children from no reading and work them through to reading competency and proficiency. So the revised Sunrise Readers, which we revised in 2018, the first 10, will start if children are competent in English, if English is their first language or they're competent in English, they would work through the first 10 Sunrise Readers in grade 1, and then they would, by the time they get to book 10, they would be reading competently, because we expect that teachers will be teaching phonics really systematically and with the eclectic teaching methods that we use, we know that by the time they get to book 10, they will be reading well, and in the next books 11 to 20 will be ending in grade 2 for those who are competent in English. We thought you might enjoy seeing a little grade 1 learner close by to me in Masipumelele. She's just starting to engage in the text, and here she's working with her teacher with a grade 1.
I'm going to read the story to you, and then you're going to listen, and then I'm going to ask you some questions after that. Are you fine with that? No? Okay. The story said, come and play. Come and play here. See Chipo go. Run and play. Play, play, play. Come here and play. Jump and play. See they jumping there. Jump up. Jump down, jump up, and then she's gonna jump down afterwards. Play, play, play. You see it's about? What's the story about? Come and play. What are they playing here? The ball. Did you like the story? Yes. What did you like about the story? You like to play, Mosme, also. Oh my goodness. And then look, what are they doing in this picture?
They're playing
a skipping rope. Do you like to play a skipping rope?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And look that when you're playing a skipping rope, you're jumping up and
Down.
Yes, exactly. That's how they said here, jump up and then jump down. You see, they're having fun with their friends. Are you doing that at school?
Yes.
And here was also, we're doing like a skipping. And the ball now, we're playing the ball afterwards, wasn't it? So is it fun?
Yes.
That's nice, eh? I'm gonna
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We love seeing the children engaging with the books. So you will see that the Sunrise readers take children, we put them together quite scientifically and strategically so that vocabulary accumulates and skills accumulate so gradually that the reading almost happens, it seems to happen seamlessly, with the teachers working behind the scenes as well. So after book 10 come the next 10, which, as I mentioned, with reading with competency in English, would probably be read in grade 2. And later on, we'll talk more specifically about the levels that apply. Following the book 20, we get the Sunrise Readers Blue books 1 to 3, which would be read in grade 3 and 4, where English is competent. And then we get the red books 1 to 3, which would be read in grade 4 and 5. So now I'm going to shortly hand over to Chrissie, and she's going to give us a short history. I'll show you a photograph of us when we started this journey. Oh, wrong one. Oh, sorry, Chrissie, I forgot to show the clip of the little girl reading the Sunrise Readers. I'll go back to that, shall I? Sorry, everybody, we're not very professional with this, but we thought you can't see the books, you can't hold them in your hands, but if you see the children, we can't think of a better way than you seeing the children working with them. So this is a grade 3 learner using our Sunrise Reader book 4.
Time.
Yes.
It is time. The sun is down. Come and eat, saying, grandmother, thank you. It is nighting time. You must put your toys away. Teddy, Tatella, and Chippo put the toys away. Chippo put the doors.
It's books.
Put the doors away. Tatella put his car and his bus away.
Wow, very good.
It is bedtime. You must but saying grandmother. She let water and
Into
into the bed. Is it going? It is going to.
good.
It is good to read it nighting time, saying grandmother, will you read to
Us.
grandmother, saying Chip would like you to read to us and bedtime. Please, grandmother, saying Tatella, please read
Us.
us a story.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. It's a bedtime. What time are we going to bed? Do you know? You don't know what time we're going to bed? When it is dark. No? But outside it's dark when you're going to bed. This story is about going at bed time, like going to bed at night. No? And then, do you have a grandmother? Does she read you a story when you're going to bed? Is she telling you a story like when you're going to bed or not?
No.
She's not telling you a story. You sit at Tender and Chipo, they were playing here. Do you understand? Do you see the picture? They were playing and then they packed their toys away and bath. When are you bathing? Also at night, not before the bed. Are you bathing at night?
Yes.
Okay, like them, because they're bathing at night, it's easier when you're bathing at night, ne? And then after bathing at night, after first they eating, or they were playing, and then they packed the toys away, they ate the food. After the food, it was the bath time, ne? And then they were busy brushing the teeth also. After bath time, they asked their grandmother to read a book, a story, so that they can sleep nicely at night, ne? So it is nice. Do you understand? Oh, wow. Hey.
Now, this is Chrissie and I in 1984. Can you believe it? So, Chrissie, I'm going to hand over to you to do a short history.
Sure. Well, our journey with the Sunrise Readers started in 1984. Viv and I were founding teachers of Midlands Christian School in Gweru. In 1983 is when we first kicked off. As we were wanting to establish and resource the new school, we were starting to look around for purchasing materials and resources. In that year, the local bookseller and the educational supplier came to us and said that the foreign currency allocation was managed by the Ministry of Education, and it would only be allocated for high school maths and science books. There was very little chance of us being able to get funding to purchase reading materials from abroad, which is what normally happened, usually from the States or from the UK. And so we had to think about it, and we thought, well, how hard can it be? We'll write our own. And so we had a very small view of what we were wanting to do. We just thought we'd use some basic vocabulary, write some little stories, and get the children to draw a picture. And in that way, they would have some access to reading, learning to read, and we sort of went from there. We did a lot of research. We found out actually it was not as easy as we thought it was going to be. And we got ourselves together and started writing a little bit more seriously. Right at the beginning, a friend of ours who worked in the Ministry of Education happened to come by, probably the day we were sitting at that dining room table. And he said to us, "You're not the only school that's going to be in this position. All the schools in Zimbabwe are going to be facing the same shortage, the same restrictions in accessing resources from overseas." And so we looked more seriously at the whole process. We were introduced to people in the Ministry of Education. We were introduced to publishers of Longman, Zimbabwe, and through a process that continued through 1984, we wrote the first 5 and then 10, the first 10 books. Once those were up and running, we were commissioned to do a second set of 10 books to cover grade 2. And so the books began to be printed and published and sold in Zimbabwe. For the following 30 years, the readers became the core reading scheme available in the country and in use in schools of all kinds across the country, much to our surprise, really. In 2017, we were approached by Fiona McGregor, who was I think the CEO of Pearson Africa at that time, with a view to updating and writing a new edition of the books. So we were delighted with the opportunity to bring the books into the new century and into the new era, and to provide the new generations of children with the resources that we knew were so well loved by children for the past 30 years. Initially, we thought of making quite radical changes. Viv and I both researched in our local areas what the schools were using in terms of reading materials for young learners. And we came up with all sorts of different ideas, which we started to put into practice. When Fiona said, no. She said, you need to preserve the unique storybook approach that the Sunrise Readers already have, but there was nothing really like it available on the market of 4 years ago. And so we reverted to our approach of following these families of children with their mums and dads and aunties and uncles, pets, all the different things that children everywhere are familiar with, their schools, their events, their homes, their communities, and just features of everyday life enjoyed by most children. So by the end of 2019, books 1 to 10 were completed in their fresh new state, and they have already been selling in Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, and Zimbabwe, and friends of ours have also used them in Mozambique. So we are thrilled that the Sunrise readers are going to be available for marketing in South Africa as well now. So what does that mean? I need to hand back to Viv. Is that right?
So
oh yes, I didn't talk about
sorry.
I was going to just add that we've written a teacher's manual, which is one of the things that we'll touch on. So we wrote a very simple guide that teachers and parents are able to use that will help just explain what the product is all about, and put them in touch with some of the work that we've done beforehand. Thanks, Viv.
Yes. Thanks, Chrissie. The teacher's guide is free, downloadable online. It's a PDF, and it's very simple and user-friendly.
Vivian, sorry,
Yes.
you're sounding soft, and I don't know if it's just on my side.
That is soft.
Am I soft? Okay.
Better now.
Is it
That's better. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. I'll lean in a bit. So what I was saying is the teacher's manual is available online, free, downloadable PDF. And we made sure we wrote it to be very simple and user-friendly, so that even a parent could take a child from a non-reading situation and would know how to teach his or her child to read. And teachers have told us that it's an extremely useful manual, and if they don't have it, they're always asking for it. So thank you, Chrissie. So we thought you might be interested in seeing the old Sunrise readers in operation, and just to get a little bit more of interaction with the children, because I'm sure that, like us, you are all about the children as well. I'll go back to the screen and whoops. Okay, I missed out. That was the original Sunrise readers, and now we have 2 children in Zimbabwe reading from books 1 and book 3. When we revised them, we made sure that the stories and the children and everything were completely recognizable to the teachers, because they said to us, when we consulted teachers about the revisions, they said, don't change anything. Why must you change anything? They work incredibly well. So we said, no, we need to change them. The artwork is tired. There were obviously, families have moved on, technology, and they definitely, the gender influence in the old one was also not suitable for now. So here we go with these 2 boys.
Do you like the Sunrise readers? Do you like these books? Callum, do you like them?
I like them too.
Why do you like them, Callum?
I like them because this book here, they have a monkey that runs around with them. That's they pet and it's naughty. This one, they ride bikes and they learn how to ride it. And they help people when they fall. And this one, because they also have a pet monkey that runs around and they're naughty. And because they're nice characters in all the books.
Wait, Jordan, why do you like these books?
Because they have nice pictures.
They have nice pictures, right. If you could invite one of those children to come home and play with you, Callum, who would you invite?
I would invite David.
Why?
Because he wears nice clothes and I think he's a good character and he says nice things in the book.
Well done. Jordan, who would you invite to come home and play with you?
Titina.
Why?
Because he has a nice nice shoes and a nice cap.
Okay, good boy. Right, Callum, could you read for us a page of your favorite story?
Chipo rides a bicycle. Come, can I ride my bicycle to Tinder? I want to ride like you. Can you teach me to ride to Tinder? Teach me to ride my bicycle.
Lovely. Jordan, can you read a page for us?
Look up here to Tinder. Is Chipo up here? Run up, Sam. Run up and find Chipo. Is Chipo up here, Sam?
That's sweet. So now I'm going to talk to you about why are the Sunrise Readers unique and special and possibly different from the other products that you're marketing. I don't know what other reading books you're marketing. I have looked, obviously, I've seen Jaws, which is a wonderful reading scheme, supplementary readers, I guess. So we know that the Sunrise Readers, maybe I could say to you, they have a proven track record. As we've said many times, that over the past 30-something years in Zimbabwe, children have learned to read and they work. So this track record, it's just surprising to both Chrissie and to me that we bump into Zimbabweans everywhere, and they will tell us, if we ask them, I suppose, that they learn to read with the Sunrise Readers. So they have a proven track record. One teacher said to me when we were doing our research with teachers before the revisions, she said, well, the Sunrise Readers have established a reading culture for us. And so Chrissie's already mentioned that something Fiona called us back to make sure that we didn't allow to change was the fact that the Sunrise Readers are storybooks, and they follow the Sunrise children, Tatenda and Chipo and David and Jenny, through the first 20 books. And they're everyday stories, short chapters in each book, about 3 pages are in the beginning, because that's concentration level. And so these children, according to the many grown-ups that we speak to, they became childhood friends, which united children across Zimbabwe, because they would grow up and do life with Tatenda and Chipo and David and Jenny and their families, and play games about them and talk about them. We also we're chatting to 2 Zimbabwean ladies last week, and they were laughing about how if you met another person in grade 2, you would say, which Sunrise Reader are you reading? And book 12. Oh, well, I'm on book 16, etc. So these Sunrise Readers are inclusive, and I'm sure most books are, but we have made sure that we are teaching our young readers to accept others with differences. So not only obviously are they multicultural with different ethnic backgrounds, but we have really wanted to help our young readers to accept children with differences. Our best friend Tyri is in a wheelchair, and we have children. This is done mainly through the pictures, not through discussion, of course, but we have children with albinism, children who may suffer from obesity, and just simple things like wearing glasses. So we have been wanting to ensure that our young readers accept, and obviously the stories have values to them. The Sunrise Readers, the children are not perfect. They're normal children doing normal things, and yeah, they become best friends, firm childhood friends. So children in Africa relate to the context of these children because they experience the same things as they grow up. And as you heard from the little girl reading the story, just things like bedtime, ordering the events of the day. Obviously, there's a lot of educational, sound educational stuff that goes into writing reading books. Not only just the gradual accumulation of words and skills, but whatever else is happening in childhood development. We've made sure, of course, that the books are not just about the sunrise children. We have wonderful African folk tales, and we have famous stories from childhood literature that are put into the African context, and some Bible stories. And so they really are wonderful storybooks. And as you will all know, that so much with early reading books, so much of reading happens in the pictures. So we're very grateful to the wonderful artists that we have been privileged to work with. So let me see why that's happening. Now we thought it might, because you don't have the hard copies in your hands, we thought it might be useful to have a quick look through another quick look through a Sunrise Reader. And I would just like to say that something that does also possibly make the Sunrise Readers unique, and something that the teachers have valued, one of the primary things they've valued, is that after each story, there's a short comprehension exercise called Do This. And the teachers have found them, busy teachers have found them absolutely amazing, because we've obviously thought through each exercise extremely carefully. And so the work is done for the teachers. And yeah, we've incorporated story headings and contents page. And we've recently learned that although obviously the Sunrise Readers comply with national curricula, someone who's using the Cambridge system said to us that the new Sunrise Readers comply with the Cambridge literacy requirements as well, which we're glad to hear. So let's have a look at book 6. Sorry, having a bit of a contents page. Something else that we think makes the Sunrise Readers unique and special is that we have now been creating a growing supply, there's already a lot there, of free downloadable online resources for teachers and for parents to use. And these, Chrissie and I, we just are passionate about literacy and specifically literacy in Africa, because we want to equip and empower the young learners to read, because as we all know, this gives them access to so much in life. So we have just been accumulating and creating so many resources for teachers and parents to support with the constant teaching of phonics, and also to extend with more reading materials, worksheets, flashcards, teaching resources. And so people who have access to the internet would be able to download all of these resources and ideas to support the Sunrise Readers. I hope I haven't forgotten anything on there. Here we have a grade 1 learner whose teacher has downloaded one of the activities from the resources available. And she said the little grade 1s spent ages. They didn't want to stop doing the matching of words to pictures, etc. And so that was heartwarming for Chrissie and for me to see that. As we've mentioned before, we have the free downloadable teacher's manual, the teacher's guide, which is extremely useful, and it helps teachers and parents through how to do this eclectic teaching of reading with the phonics, the sight words, high frequency sight words, and with the look and say and sentence methods. And also training, just as we're doing today. I don't know whether it's unique that we as authors are accessible and available. because we're passionate about literacy, we were supposed to be doing, we had prepared a training for teachers for a group of government schools in Zimbabwe, and then the Zimbabwe lockdown happened. So that will be delivered as soon as their lockdown situation is people are allowed to meet again. So we offer the online support, but we're also doing just exactly what we're doing now with you, is we just want to get behind busy teachers and support them as much as we can with training. So, and we're very available with emails through our social media and YouTube, Facebook, etc., which we'll give you the details in a little while. I'm just we're nearly finished now, but I just want to let you enjoy what a teacher who has used the Sunrise Readers over the years has to say.
Hi, I'm Dilys Green. I'm a teacher up in the north of Mozambique, and I have just discovered that these brand new Sunrise Readers are available there. Predominantly a Portuguese society, it's very difficult to find English material. We were already using the previous first edition of these books, very familiar with them, been using them for over 30 years. It's very exciting to see these brand new books. The artwork is different, the presentation is familiar, but also fresh. There's the familiar boys, David and Tender. There's sisters, Jenny and Cheapo. A rascally dog, Rex. And they get up to the normal childhood adventures that one expects. The new edition has been carefully compiled by the same authors, Jenkins and Lewis, but more careful thought has been put into the generational issues that we have now. The families, the way they work, are different to in the 80s. The way children entertain themselves. But there's still the familiar stories from grandmother, the visit to the farm where they see the great animals. These books are fresh and exciting. As a teacher, I have found them very useful because at the back of the book, you always get a word list. So you're able to prepare the children for these books when they eventually get them into their sticky little paws. They're so excited and they find reading easy because why isn't it? They know the words, they know the characters. I usually concentrate on teaching the sight words and exploring the phonetic-based words. These books have been designed for an eclectic approach. There's the look and say method and the phonics-based words. They're very carefully designed to go along with the normal progression of a phonics-based program. And I'm very excited to start using these new lookbooks. In fact, our school in the north of Mozambique have already ordered 25 of each of these so that our next group of children will be blessed with the experience of these fun, challenging at first, but easy to read books. Well done to Mrs. Jenkins and Mrs. Lewis for redoing these beautiful books.
Just briefly about the levels, the Sunrise Readers K-4. Lindiwe said there's been a lot of questions about this, so that's why she asked us to emphasize. As we said before, if it's an English medium school where proficiency in English is good, you might expect books 1 to 10 to be read in grade 1, 11 to 20 in grade 2, blue books 1 to 3 in grade 3, and red books 1 to 3 in grade 4. Now, as in many cases in other language or mother tongue schools, we say that the Sunrise Readers are used in the first year of learning English, which is often in grade 3, and therefore maybe Sunrise Readers books 1 to 3 or 1 to 5 with more advanced learners would be used in grade 3. And then the next 4 would be in grade 3 or 4 and so forth. So they would start later and they would end in grades 6 and 7. I'm sure maybe Richard, Nicolette will be able to make those levels available to you just for future reference. So these books are extremely relevant to both English competent schools that are English medium, and in Zimbabwe over all these years they have been used in rural schools where mother tongue schools, right? And then just once again, use our social media. We try to be all over the place here with the growing supply of very homegrown. You can see Chrissie and I are not very professional at media, etc. But at least it's all simple and very freely available. If you like the Facebook page and follow us, you'll automatically see the new resources coming up on, you know, that's how they announce themselves. Okay, Chrissie, back to you.
Thanks very much, Viv. So just in conclusion, our overview is complete, and I want to encourage you with the knowledge that the Sunrise Readers have the reputation of selling themselves. They have a 30+ year track record of sales and being able to hold their place in the market. We know that they do their job. Children learn to read while they are using the Sunrise Readers, and they end up loving the books and the people and the children involved in them. We've compiled a marketing brochure, which we hope that Dewey is going to be able to get out to everybody via email, which means that you'll have the information and the content of what we discussed today in a handy couple of pages of resources. So in finishing off, we'd just like to share our dream with you for the future, that our hope is that you will join us on our passion for supporting teachers and inspiring learners in the learning of reading, particularly learning to read in English, and to have the most positive impact on literacy that we can have across the whole continent of Africa. So thank you again for your time and attention, and we'll flick back to Richard.
Thanks so much, Chrissie and Vivian. Is there any questions from anybody?
Just sorry from my side, Vivian and Chrissie, will you be able to share this presentation with us so I can share it with the team?
Absolutely. Has it been recorded, Nicolette?
It has. I have recorded the session, so I'll share the recording as well, but the presentation would be, the PowerPoint would also be great to have.
Absolutely. I'd be delighted to share it with you.
Any questions from anybody? Nicolette, is anybody able to unmute themselves if they want to have a question?
Yes, they should be able to, but they can flag it in the chat if there's any issues.
Yeah. While we're waiting.
Sorry. No, it's Gaynor.
Go ahead, Gaynor.
Hi, Chrissie and Vivian. I just wanted to double check. Obviously, your target market was schools in Zimbabwe, and obviously we're coming from a South African school base. So I just wanted to confirm your Sunrise Readers were ideally for English home language learners, ideally, or is it just English? So, because obviously in South Africa, we have a situation where we have English home language and then we have English first additional language. So I just wanted to get a feel, is it for any, like an Afrikaans learner, can they use the readers, or an isiZulu reader, can they also use it?
Thank you, Gaynor. That's a brilliant question. And yes, absolutely. The answer is that they are focusing on children learning to read in English. So they may not be English home speakers. They have been used with children who have no English at all. And they have been used with children who are home language speakers and with English as a second additional language. So they apply to all of them. And the only thing that would mark them as Zimbabwean as it were, are the names of the children. Otherwise, the context is relevant to all of our children in Africa. And so, yes, we've been very aware that we want to appeal to all of the children on the continent. I hope I answered the question, Gaynor.
Yes, no, thank you very much.
Nicolette, there's 2 questions. Will you take the consumer questions and then I'll take the price question?
Yes, so Karen, yes, obviously it would be amazing if we can sell this into our retail space as well across the board. They should be able to view these titles on Takealot. If the feed is open and active, then it will automatically go through to Takealot to be seen. What would be great, obviously, if we can keep some stock, because that just means that any online sales will move a bit faster. But these will be sold within the school's terms and conditions, not the trade terms and conditions.
And then the next question was, how does the price compare? The price is very competitive. These readers are very, very well priced. There is a price list, so we'll circulate the price list as well to everybody. And then can we get samples? Yes, that's, samples is always an option. So we can look at samples for certain people, and yeah, that's not an issue. Samples aren't even an issue. I think we actually have some stock in already. But obviously, if we need more samples, we can always get that. Any other questions?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm keen to know if we can get the Sunrise Readers onto the Pearson South Africa Facebook page. We have the Sunrise Readers Facebook page that falls under Pearson Africa. I think Lindiwe and Vivian and I are admins on that page, but I just wondered if once in a while we could share on the South African Facebook page.
Camilla, Karen, I'm sure that shouldn't be a problem. We just, the marketing
Richard,
ladies are on, yeah.
Hi, Richard. No, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. And Camilla has also just shared to everybody on WhatsApp the details, because lots of the Chrissie and Vivian, lots of the information is shared obviously these days via WhatsApp. So marketing has got like posters and that. So Camilla has shared the details on the WhatsApp for the team. So they'll also have that accessible on their phone as well.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions?
And Richard, we will be putting together a mailer as well.
Yes.
That we can send out to our database of teachers.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you're aware, but we have a Classroom Solutions as a database of teachers. Teachers sign up for that. And then that's what Camilla's mentioned. They'll mail that out to the teachers that are all members of that, all the information, new products, and highlighting certain features and key features as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
If there are no more questions, when there are no more questions, I have a short story to end
Sorry,
with.
there's another question. Do we have workbooks, or do the teachers have to download the free online worksheets?
We have desperately wanted to add extra resources in paper for the teachers over time, but as far as finance and budget is concerned with our publisher, they haven't been able to extend themselves as we would love to see a growing supply. So the short answer is right now, teachers have to go and download them. We've even got little extra booklets there, but they have to go online and download for themselves. Yeah.
Thank you.
There isn't any questions. Okay, Vivian, you can tell your story and then I'll just do the final thanks after that.
I wanted to speak to the reps. You might have heard the story before. It's such a beautiful one. But someone was walking past a very big building site and it was just hugely busy. People were busy everywhere and there was this massive building going up. And actually that building was a beautiful cathedral. So this passerby stopped and he found someone pushing a wheelbarrow full of bricks. There were a couple of them. And he said to the workman, "What are you doing?" And the workman said, "Well, I've got to cart all of these bricks over closer to the building for the bricklayers. So all day, every day, I cart these bricks across. So another person came past pushing the wheelbarrow. And so the passerby said to him, "What are you doing?" And he stopped and he got a faraway look in his eyes and he said, "I'm building a cathedral." And I just wanted to say to all of you, you're so busy out there, and to other people, it might look as if you are just getting on with a huge amount of daily chores and things, but to us, you are building something very special as you market educational materials for our children, our very precious children. You're building something very special in their lives. It's so much more than just, could I say, just selling books. So we appreciate you as part of the team of teachers like ourselves. We see ourselves as teachers and parents. And as you market useful educational materials, you're building something very big in our continent. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Vivian. We also just had the last question again while we were talking, so there's at least lots of interaction. There is a price list. I'll send it afterwards to Camilla. It is on the X Drive, so it will also be on the shared marketing, the shared admin, not the shared school space on the Teams chat. So, but we'll just share it. I'll share it with Camilla so she can send it out via WhatsApp, the price list as well.
Sorry, just another question, just to confirm that we will obviously supply the discount as per normal with these readers.
Yes, per normal. The discounts work per normal because that has all been taken into consideration with the pricing of the products already. Great. So that's thanks. I'm loving all the interaction, but I'm just looking at managing everybody's time. So Vivian and Chrissie, really, thanks so much. I was thinking how difficult this was going to before, how it's going to really to get the feel of the books, you know, when you do the presentation, because we're all just, but I think I really like the time that was taken to put the videos together and to actually just show us the actual paging to the book. And all the little, and you know, that's really made a big difference that I felt. And obviously, you know, we have to have all our books, the inclusiveness and all of those. So thanks so much. And obviously, thanks for your passion for all the years of driving the product and behind the product. And, you know, we've been in contact for a year and a half before the agreement that took us so long to get in order between the two companies. So thanks, and thanks so much for eventually seeing each other face to face, and thanks for your time. And I think it's a nice, great product to add to our basket of products to sell in South Africa. Thanks so much. And thanks the team for availing your time and for attending today's session. And you can reach out to myself. And as Vivian and Chrissie said, they're accessible. If we need something, I don't know, we can get in contact with them or anything. I'm sure if they want a training for a group of teachers or something, we can pick up those conversations as well. So thanks so much, everybody. And thanks again, Vivian and Chrissie, and have a good day further. Cheers.
Thanks, Richard. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.